Can we put that CNN article up there about Amalek?
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe that this is real. I checked, it's real. This is a real article that ran on CNN.com from Jerusalem. And they are talking about the significance of this day, launching this attack from the book of Deuteronomy and Amalek. So, this is the reality. This is, remember,
and this is the about to be Ellison-owned CNN, by the way. So they're just, pre-complying with, not that CNN was ever that great to start with, but pre-complying with the new extreme Zionist regime that's about to be in place, potentially led by Barry Weiss.
These are the people who we are at the mercy of. The timing of the U.S.-Israeli attack bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Ahead of the upcoming holiday of Purim, worshippers read the specific portion of the Old Testament, known as Zachor. The passage from the book of Deuteronomy commands the ancient Israelites to remember an unprovoked attack by the nation of Amalek and to eradicate the memory of Amalek once the Israelites are settled in their land. The passage is read publicly before Purim to fulfill the mitzvah of remembering Amalek as Israel's archetypal enemy. Because if you combine this with the fact that the date was already pre-planned some months ago, you think American war planners picked the date to coincide with the book of Deuteronomy and Amalek? This is insanity.
We talk about the theocracy of Iran posing such a risk and making them so irrational. And then this is literally the justification that is given for the launch of this war. That's insane. That is insane.
How can we even... Trying to explain this to normal people is going to be one of the more difficult projects of this war. And I'm going to ask everybody who's watching this, don't be annoying, but when people bring it up, try to get into it and really get it, because the propaganda is going to be unbelievable. It's very easy to start a war. It's much harder to end a war. And that's when you're in control of your own government. Now you have a foreign rogue state which will bomb any country which is in the immediate vicinity and can kick things off into higher gear whenever they want to.
Yeah. And our ambassador to that country saying that we're down with the Greater Israel Project if Israel wants to just fully fulfill their biblical prophecy and take over whatever portions of the neighboring states that they want to. That, apparently is U.S. official policy at this point, given that it was stated by the U.S. ambassador that it appears to reflect facts on the ground in terms of Israeli behavior and was never walked back by any element of our regime. And I just want to throw the Epstein angle of this into the mix, because you have to look at this and in some senses go, it doesn't really add up. The military didn't want this war. The political people knew that this could be a big problem. You just look at the polling and you know that it is catastrophic. Now, will Republicans who are Trump supporters, will they come around and suddenly flip and they'll support? Sure. But independents, any sort of swing voter, they are dramatically opposed to this, especially when from the jump you're saying, hey, Americans are probably going to die here. Sorry. So the political piece, the military piece, our allies in the region, they did not want this war. Our broader allies in Europe and Canada, they were not pushing for this. This was just Israel and the Israeli, pro-Israel donors in the U.S. and then Donald Trump, who decided that this is the direction that we should go in. And so you have to factor into this, okay, they are not so stupid in this government that they can't see what we do, that this is potentially disastrous, that there's no off-ramp, that we could get dragged in, that it's this massive regional conflagration at a time when Trump is already incredibly politically weak. And then, so you have to couple that with, okay, well, maybe it really is something that Israel knows about him in the Epstein files.